Steve, the Grizzlies are one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the league. What's going to be the key to battling with them on the boards and their size?
Just having all five guys engaged at all times. When we've done that recently, we've rebounded pretty well. But it can't just be, two or three or even four guys thinking about it. It's got to be all five. And if we're alert and attentive, then I think we'll be fine.
Steve, James Hill with BNC Sports. This is the time of year that players and coaches and NBA people really appreciate and look forward to. Just talk about tomorrow and a big game, and then we move forward into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, we're really looking at this as, we've got to win 2 out of our next 3 games. That's so basically that starts tomorrow. So in effect, tomorrow is a playoff game. And we've got to win, we got to win 2 before we lose 2. That's what it comes down to out of the next 3. So it's like a little mini series from the old days in the early 80s. Raymond Ritter remembers that. Probably none of you on this call remember that, but Raymond remembers it well.
What's the challenge that Morant puts on your defense just with the way he kind of attacks relentlessly, really?
Yeah, I mean, it starts in transition. So you got to load up. He's one of the fastest guys in the league, so you can't have, your help players not paying attention because he'll drive right by anybody one-on-one. And then in the half court, your bigs have to really be good with verticality because he's going to put his head down and come in and try to jump over you. So verticality is really important. And, he's obviously a really gifted, fast player, and we just got to try to keep him in front of us best we can.
When it comes to your team's alertness, you guys are 5-0 on this homestand. Do you feel like, the best things are happening right now and you're in the best position to win?
Yeah, I mean, this is the best we've played all year. First time we've had a 5-game winning streak. I think I said to you guys yesterday, we're number 1 ranked defense and defensive rating over the last 19 games. I think that's a pretty good sample size. It shows you how far we've come, and it shows you that our guys are connected and playing well. So it's exciting, but we've got to carry that forward now. And as I said, win 2 of the next 3.
Stephen, listening to you talk about defending Ja, it sounds like you're a similar plan to what you want to develop for Westbrook. Are there some similarities there?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a good comparison. Both guys are just forces of nature athletically. And so there has to be help involved. And it's got to be 5 guys on a string and, building walls in transition, not giving him those seams, because like Westbrook, he can get right through a seam and right to the rim before you can blink. So got to be really alert to start the game in transition. And then, same thing in the half court. You can't let your guard down.
No team has played more games than the Grizzlies in the second half of the season, yet here they are finishing as strongly as you guys are. They haven't lost in a while. What's been the key for that team?
Well, they've had a good season. They had the COVID stretch, just like the Spurs did, where they lost games mid-season and then had to make up for them late in the season. So a lot of games, and they've performed well. They're a really good, solid team. They've done a good job organizationally over the last few years in the draft and coaching-wise. I mean, I just think they're a really, really solid team and an up-and-coming franchise. And, we're going to have to play well to beat them.
After so many games with the 8-man rotation, Steve, and what are the challenges to trying to integrate more guys into the group now, because you have a fuller roster than you had a few days ago even? So what's different?
The difference is that we now have options. But now that the playoffs are starting, there's no difficulty at all. You just play whoever's going to help you win the game. If that means we only play 8 tomorrow, then we play 8. The regular season's different from the playoffs. I always am very conscious and aware, being a former player, that the regular season requires giving a lot of opportunity to people. You have to keep them ready and prepared in case of injury. You've got to see what you've got. You're sort of experimenting for much of the season with different combinations, that sort of thing. When the playoffs start, all that goes out the window, and it's time for everybody to just lock in and help you win the game, whatever that means. And so for everybody on the bench, that means be ready to play. And if you don't play, then shake it off and be ready to play tomorrow.
Coach, how important for you is to bring the do or die mentality for tomorrow's game?
I'm sorry?
How important for you and for your players is to bring the do or die mentality to be the most important game of the season?
Yeah, I mean, it's a critical game, but that's what we play for. This is what we're trying to accomplish throughout the regular season, is to get to the playoffs and put yourself in a position to advance in the playoffs. So something that everybody's really looking forward to.